Have you been wanting to break into the luxury market? Have you been in real estate and thinking, gosh, I just wish I could get my price point up. I want to do luxury. I want to be luxury. Well, today what I'm sharing with you is my journey to entering the luxury market in real estate. You know, it took me almost 6 years to break into the luxury market. So what I want to do today is I want to share my story with you. I want to share the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. Because now I'm officially part of the luxury market, and I'm going to share with you how you can do the exact same. Hello. Happy Wednesday, you guys. It has been a long time since I've done a Facebook Live on my personal page. I do coaching every Monday for real estate in my private group, but I don't do it on my personal page all the time. So I just got a little nervous. My palms got a little sweaty. All right, I'm gonna give you guys some time to pop on, say hi, tell me what's happening. Where are you guys watching from right now? So there's going to be quite a few of you that are watching from Facebook. Some of you are going to be tuning in from YouTube. Wherever you are watching from, I send greetings from California, Northern California. I'm in my home office right now in El Dorado Hills. And I've done video like all day today. Hey, Andrea, Molly, Kim, Carrie, Bree, Tanya. There's going to be a lot of you guys watching today. I'm so excited to get to connect with you guys too, because I have been wanting to share with you guys about luxury real estate for some time, because it has been something that I've been wanting to get into my entire career. And I feel like those people that are in real estate who aren't necessarily full on in luxury yet, it's like this unspoken thing where you don't say the highest price point you've sold, which is silly because we're all wonderful people and worth a lot, and your price point does not matter. What matters is that you care about people. So, okay, well, a lot of you are tuning in, so I'm so excited to be hanging out with you. If you guys are watching this live with me right now, write live in the comments so I know you're watching now. And if you are watching as a replay, write replay, because if you guys have any questions later, I'm going to be going back through the comments to make sure that I can address everybody's questions, because this stuff really does matter to me and you guys matter to me. And one of my very favorite things is that I get to love on you and get to coach and share my experiences, so it's so fun. So if you're watching live, write live. If you are watching as a replay, please let me know it's a replay so that I know when you're watching, it'll pop back in my news feed so I can reach out to you. And if you guys are watching this later on YouTube, friend me on Facebook. All right, so let's dig in, you guys. We are going to be talking about luxury real estate. So to take you back a little bit, so my name, those of you who don't know me, I have a lot of new followers right now. My name is Rachel Adams Lee. I just got married about a year ago to the most attractive man in the world, Ryan. If you follow me on Facebook, you know him. And I have been in real estate now for about 6.5 years. And when I first got into real estate, I feel like everybody says they want to get into luxury because luxury is a higher price point. And I just think like that's the place you want to be. Like luxury is luxury, right? And I like nice things. I like to eat at nice restaurants. So naturally, I want to do luxury real estate. And what I have to tell you is that it took me a lot longer to get into it than I thought it would. And it was a little bit more challenging. And yet the reason that I want to share this with you guys in full transparency is because I feel like a lot of us have this feeling that we can't do luxury, or maybe you're not good enough to do luxury, or you don't deserve to do luxury. And I know that I had a lot of those limiting beliefs. So when I first started my real estate career, I started doing open houses and door knocking. So a lot of you know my career history, but for those of you that don't, I started door knocking 200 doors a week and doing 3 open houses a week. So let it sink in for a second. Door knocking 200 doors a week, doing 3 open houses a week. And the first year in real estate, it was brutal. People were like, you're gonna earn blisters. I'm like, oh, you literally mean blisters on my feet? Because I did. And it was a really challenging first year. I was also very grateful for that experience because I feel like I knew that it was going to be hard work. I didn't know how hard. I also learned that consistency is key here. And so I was consistently door knocking those 200 doors, consistently doing those 3 open houses. And the first year sold 39 homes. The second year was 109. The third year was 123. And that's when I hit Wall Street's top 1,000 in the country. Now I'm 6.5 years into the business. Now, on the outside looking in, right, that sounds all fancy schmancy and you worked hard, all of that. I will tell you, like, really, I decided I was going to create a real estate team, and I decided I would ask all my friends to get their real estate license and come work for me, not work with me, work for me. Whole team blew up, had to start back at square one. I have wasted so much money on advertising that didn't matter. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is I want you guys to know that the highlight reel, the fancy stuff that you guys see in magazines and on stage, that is a highlight reel. The real stuff is that we all have lost a lot of money on our profit and losses. We've hired the wrong people. We've done things the wrong way. And so now what I love to do is I like to just share totally openly with you guys and tell you how things worked the right way for me. So let's talk a little bit of luxury, shall we? I'm going to get comfortable because I can. Okay. So, my husband just told me I look luxurious. Thanks, honey. He's in the kitchen right now as I'm like in our office doing this thing. I'm going to adjust my lighting really quick. Whoa, too much. Okay, right amount. I think that's where I was before. Okay, so when I decided, I've always wanted to get into the luxury market, and I felt like, that I couldn't exactly jump into it in the very, very beginning, because I felt like I kind of needed to earn my stripes, if you will, and I was so nervous that people wouldn't take me seriously. I don't know if any of you feel that way. So if you, also those of you watching right now, there's about 90 of you, how many years have you been in real estate? So tell me in the comments how many years you've been in real estate. So I'm now 6.5 years into the industry, and I will tell you that I started trying to get into luxury, attempting to get in luxury about my 3rd year. Now I'm in Sacramento and Placer County. And so the average luxury here is considered 500,000 and above. And so I definitely got into the 500,000. Like, that wasn't hard for me. But to me, what luxury counted as was like the $1 million properties. Like, I wanted to be a luxury agent. And so I always heard this awesome quote from Jim Rohn that you're the average of the 5 people you hang around, right? You're the average people, or the 5 of the people you surround yourself with. And I love that philosophy. And so what I've tried to do in my world is adopt that in different facets of my life. So like in health, have 5 people inspire me in health. Spirituality, 5 people who inspire me there. Relationships, right? Healthy marriages. Women that have work-life balance. Like, be the kind of people I want to aspire to be like, right? Well, in real estate, I wanted to be a luxury agent. So I started to surround myself with luxury agents, people doing luxury at a really high level. And I started to watch what they did and look at where they shopped and how they communicated. And, the thing was, some of them were really sharing and sweet and warm, and some of them weren't. I remember one time I sat down with a luxury agent, and I'm such an open door person and I love to share, so I assumed naturally they're going to be that way too. Well, I sit down with them and I'm asking about luxury, and she says, well, you're either born into luxury or you're not. And if you're not, there's really nothing I can do to help you. Ew. Are you serious? I was like, that is such a rude thing to say. Right? You learn what you do want in life and you learn what you don't want. And I learned I never want to be like that kind of person. And so that's why I'm doing this live right now, because when I finally broke in, I want to share it. So some of these luxury agents, they said to join country clubs, right? And to, start to wear higher end clothing. Well, as a struggling agent in the beginning, I couldn't afford to go to a country club. Like, I don't know how to golf. So I was like, I will happily sit in your golf cart and give you cocktails, but that's about all I'm good for on a golf course. And I couldn't afford luxury clothes. And I was like, you can find some mean discounts at like Nordstrom Rack, right? And TJ Maxx. Like, I'm not above it. And so, what I decided was that I was going to really hone in my my skills, and I was going to fine tune things. So I wanted to be a luxury listing agent. So what that meant is I was going to work my butt off, you guys, and I was going to fine tune my luxury presentation. But before I do a luxury presentation, I have to have a regular listing presentation. And so what that meant first is understanding the needs of a seller, no matter who they are, no matter what their price point is. Because what I will tell you is that no matter what, people work with people they like, and they want to know who you are. And when someone's thinking if they're going to work with you, they're always going to ask themselves three things. 1, do you care about me? 2, can you help me? And 3, can I trust you, right? Those are the 3 questions they're gonna ask. Do you care about me? Do you care about me? Can you help me? And do I trust you? And if the answer to those 3 things are yes, then you potentially have a new client, right? So I got my listing presentation and I memorized this thing, you guys, inside and out, upside and down. I could literally give you my listing presentation in my sleep. And when I tried to get into, I was going to get into luxury, right? And I knew I wanted, and so I just decided that I would own my craft as a real estate professional, and I would get really good. And so yes, I became, a top agent in the country, and yet I had never sold $1 million property. So I kept working hard, and I knew that consistency is key here. Just like consistency with social media business is key, consistency with lead generation is key, all of it is key. Well, I will tell you this story because I want to give you hope and inspire you and hopefully let you know that if I can do it, you can do it. So I received a referral from a agent whose family member was going to be selling in a town called Meadow Vista. And I got the call that I was going to be interviewed, and it was me and 4 other agents. And I will tell you, I am all about going up against other agents and I have some awesome scripts for you guys, which if you want me to do a video for you following this, having to do with how you can have them, you can actually be the last person they interview, let me know. Shoot me a private message and I will get you guys a video on that next on YouTube. But I was up against 4 agents. So I went to interview, and I will tell you, so it was kind of funny because this specific country club where this house was being sold, I'd never sold in the area. I've never sold that high of a price point, and it was like 1.7 million. Hello. So I've never sold in the area. I've never sold that high of a price point, and I had the least experience of everybody who was going to be presenting there. So I go and I interview, and I go to this stunning home in this golf course, and I will tell you, of course, I did my homework, right? So I learned about this golf course community, and because I'm with Keller Williams Realty, I knew I'd never sold in there, but Keller Williams Realty had sold in there. So I pulled all the sold properties that Keller Williams has sold, right? Doing my homework, doing my due diligence. And I sit down with the sellers, and I'm not going to use their real names, so we'll call them Bill and Patty. Bill was very business and not a ton of emotion, just very much kind of to the point. You could tell he was a sweetie inside, but he was interviewing me for a job, right? And then his wife Patty was also interviewing me for a job, was a tough chick, and she kind of had like the colorful, the fun personality, and you could tell. So as a listing professional, it's important we get to balance both personalities, and it's important that when you have a listing presentation, you make sure that you can appeal to all audiences. So I knew that when I was talking to Bill, I had to look at my sheet because I wrote his name down, his fake name, so I don't call him by his real name, protect privacy. So when I was talking to Bill, I made sure that I hit on the points. We put your house on 372 online sources, and we have our high-end marketing, right? And I talked about specific numbers and facts, right? And all of this stuff that I knew he would be interested. And then when I talked to his wife, I was talking about our colorful listing presentation side, right? So I'm talking about the social media aspect, and I'm talking about the open house flyers and sharing those with her. In my listing presentation, I have perfected this thing over 6.5 years, right? And I know it inside and out. So having that conversation with both was really important. Now, they let me know I was interviewing against 4 people. I was one of 4. One had sold in that neighborhood for like 20 something years in this specific neighborhood. Another one was like a team, a boutique brokerage team. And then one was a gentleman who also had been doing real estate for like 20 years. So I'm going in there with the least experience, never sold in this community, and I'm nervous, right? Well, and I've never sold that high of a price point. So the one thing I will tell you is on my way to this listing presentation, I was deep breaths, right? I had some positive affirmations before I left the house with Ryan. And when I was on my way, I literally was giving myself positive affirmations. I deserve this listing. I am the best listing agent for this home. I am a luxury agent, right? And I just kept saying, not what I wanted to be or what I wished I was. I am a luxury agent. I deserve this listing, right? And I knew that at the end of the day for these people, you guys, it's still about the net. These sellers care about knowing that you care about them, knowing that they can trust you, knowing you can help them, and they want a net top dollar. So I go through my whole listing presentation and I'm definitely nervous a little bit because the house was stunning, you guys. They had their own little mini golf course. Like, it was a phenomenal home. And I had done my research before I got there. So as I said, one of the biggest things that I can tell you that I've learned in the luxury world is somebody buying a home in a luxury market is equally as important buying the home as it is the lifestyle that the home is going to provide them. The lifestyle. And I said that to them, and I said it with passion because I meant it. The lifestyle, right? Wine tasting and the closest shopping locations and the golf course community, and knowing all the amazing attributes of this home and why it was so fantastic and why they chose to live there and why other people would love to live there. And that is music to a seller's ears, because when you truly invest in where they live, they know it's not just about the dollar. They know it's about more than that, right? Now, the next thing, and this is kind of funny. So I had my fancy sheet, right? I had my sold Keller Williams properties. So when Bill says to me, okay, and have you ever sold in this neighborhood? Well, guess what I do? I pull out my Keller Williams properties and I send them down and I said, well, Bill, here you are. We sure have. We sure have, because I'm part of Keller Williams. So I'm like, we sold here. And he looks at it and he goes, yeah, no, I see Keller Williams has sold, but have you ever sold here? And I was like, dang it, that didn't work, right? So whoops on that one. And then it was kind of funny. But then what happened is I like, in my mind, I always go, I've got this. And I know that when I go up against listing appointments with other agents, I often get the listing, more often than not, to be honest. And the reason why, you guys, and this is the number one thing to remember about real estate or any career that you are in, people work with people they like, and they like you. And so I realized that this is my opportunity to show who I am and what I'm about, and that I'm a great agent and that I care about them. And you know what I did? Well, I have in my listing presentation, I have a page, and I have a page talking about Facebook. Why would I have a page talking about Facebook? Well, you guys, because last year we sold 64 houses alone just from Facebook, and this year it's going to be closer to 100. That's just from Facebook. We, of course, have online leads and other sources, right? And so what I did is I told her, I said, you know what, one of the things that we do, so I'm going through my whole listing presentation, right? I said, one of the things that we do is we actually have, we will put your home on 372 websites. So you're gonna have a massive, massive online presence, and I show them a visual of that. And I said, and then obviously, you know, social media is everything right now. We have over 25,000 followers on Facebook. And one of the things that we're going to do for you is we're actually going to feature your property on Facebook, and we're going to target an ad for you by age, demographic, income level, school district, lifestyle, right? We're going to target people who like golf, all of it. Now, they had interviewed all these other agents, and not a single one talked about that, right? Not a single one talked about that. Now, those of you right now watching thinking, Rachel, why the heck are you sharing your secrets with these people? They're going to go out there and going to do the same thing you're doing. Take a deep breath, you guys. When you build your life by coming from contribution and living in an abundant mindset and not worrying that someone else is going to take your business or take your tricks, you're good to go. There is enough listings around, and it is totally, totally okay. So I leave the property. I'm kind of nervous. I call Ryan when I get out of there and I'm like, okay, so I had the listing. I feel like it went well. I put my best out there. And then what happened is I leave the house. A couple days later, I get a phone call. It's now down to 2, you guys. Down to 2. It was down to me and one other. And I am like, whew, okay, we got this, right? And when I went back, I asked more questions about the people they interviewed. And they did tell me one thing is that the other person that interviewed against me, the gentleman, they said to me, and I quote, his listing presentation blew mine out of the water and he didn't even open it. So I'm thinking, what the heck does that mean? Like, how did he blow mine out of the water? What does he say? Who is this magician, right? And yet I also knew this is my time to shine. And one thing that I had told him, because I had another listing that I had interviewed for that was a really high price point, is that, I will work really, really hard because this is, and what was really cool about this seller specifically is I was transparent with him, so he was transparent with me. And one of the things that I have that I share, I think I have it here. I can show you guys. Oh yeah. So I have this sheet and it's called the sold sheet. And so what it has is it has my listings here and my purchases here. It has the address, what it's listed for, what it's sold for. This red here is the difference of what it was actually listed for and then what it actually sold for, and then days on market. And we do the same thing for purchase. And I brought that because I will tell you that I believe in full transparency. And so I tell my sellers, I said, I believe in full transparency. So what you're going to see here is these are the 147 houses I sold last year. You're going to see what it was listed for, what it sold for. This red here, this is important because what this shows you is how much over asking I got them for the property. And this is days on market. So I was totally transparent, and sellers like that because they want to see what that is. That's called evidence of success. Now, these other agents that I was going up against, yes, they've sold, for many years in the area and all of that. And what I will tell you is that I told him, I said, I will work harder than them. I mean, and he knew, he said, you've never sold this high of a property, this price point. And he said, that is correct. I said, and I know that I can do this. And it was clear I had done my homework and all of that. So the next step is I had given him my references. So he's calling past clients that I worked with. And even though the price point didn't match theirs, he still knew that I was going to work hard because he got to talk to them and he got to ask questions. And he probably said, how was she with communication? And so this is the thing. When you're working with a seller, it is all about setting the expectation. This is what you can expect from me, and this is what I expect from you. So I'm sitting in this luxury property. I've never sold this high of a property. My second interview, you guys, was over 3 hours. Over 3 hours. And I was actually supposed to call Ryan when I left, and we were going to get together. And he's like texting me like, are you okay? Where are you? And I mean, I have to tell you, you guys, I got the listing. I got the listing. And I cannot tell you how excited. Yeah, give me the hearts. Give me all those hearts, you guys. Heck yeah. And I got the listing, and I literally got emotional because it was such a big deal to me, because I do think that there are times where we doubt ourselves. And when I talked to those sellers, so when I spoke to them, I will tell you that I said, I will work harder. We talked about all my social media. We talked about all these things, and I will show you this really fun thing that we created. And it is, I decided, so for my clients that like the black and white, I obviously have the black and white, right? And yet for my clients who like the color, who like the fun like me, I've turned the home selling process into Candyland. How cute is that? So I turned the whole thing into Candyland. And so I said, and I always say to them, so obviously I have the detailed version for you here, black and white, but if you're anything like me and you like things in color, then I also have turned the home selling process into Candyland. Now, what person in their right mind would go to a luxury listing presentation 1.7 and tell them that, show them Candyland? The kind of person who believes who they are, right? So this is the thing, you guys. The whole time I was there, I stayed true to who I was. I dressed how I dressed. I wore a dress to my first presentation, jeans and a blazer to my second. And I truly believed that I deserved this listing. And yes, it took me 6 years and I was a little bit embarrassed about it. And then I was like, you know what? Heck with this. I am proud of this. I worked hard to get into this industry. And now the best part about it is I get to use this listing as leverage. And the seller, the awesome thing Bill said to me is he said, the reason, because I asked him, I said, so why did you choose me? Which maybe I shouldn't have asked that. And yes, I asked that. So I said, why did you choose me? Like, why did you choose me to sell your house? I'm happy you did. And he said, I talked to your references. And one of them was a high price point who I have not listed his house yet. But he said, plain and simple, you have something to prove. And I think you'll work a heck of a lot harder than they will. So house goes on the market, you guys. I am like, luxury listing. This is my jam. I had interviewed all these different luxury agents on what to do. And I knew, and it was so funny because some of the people that I interviewed, they said, Rachel, I know you. I know that you love to have emojis. I know that you are all about being silly. This is a luxury presentation. You need to be serious. You need to be, on top of it. Of course, I had the most phenomenal marketing material for this and this beautiful, trifold brochure and all that when people got there in a big 16 by 20 poster. But they said, no matter what you do not use emojis on social media. Do not use emojis. Don't use them. Do you want to know what I did? This was my open house ad. So there's my open house. How cute is that? Come on, that's so cute. It says 4 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, 4+ car garage, private putting greens. You guys, be you. Be who you are. Because guess what happened? I am who I am. I took this luxury listing presentation with all my emojis. I put this on social media and I targeted people who I thought could suit this home, okay? Now, it just so happened, and mind you, the seller was like, if you can sell in this many days, you're gonna get this. If you can sell in this many days, you're gonna get a little something special, right? So we had talked about it. And so I was motivated. Now, mind you, I took this listing and I'm like, please sell, oh my gosh, because I've never sold this high of a price point. And it was over 1.7, it was a really big deal. So I targeted this property and I ended up targeting a specific country town outside my home called Truckee. Well, it just so happened that a professional athlete was visiting family and saw the Facebook ad, targeted, right? And came and viewed the property. And those of you who know me know that I know nothing about sports. So I'm like, what do you do for a living? And he's telling me what he does. And I'm like, oh, you must be really good at that. Not having any idea who this person is because I also don't know sport names. And when I said his name to someone else, they're like, are you kidding me? You don't know who that is? Like, they're Hall of Fame or whatever. They got the ring and they're really fancy. I was like, I'm so sorry. They were really nice people and I wanted to hug them. Okay, this property goes on the market, right? 4 days later, you guys, 4 days later, all cash offer, over asking. Hello. Like, I could not believe it. I was so excited. We actually had multiple offers on the property. I mean, you guys, I can't even tell you how excited I was. And yet it was just me sticking true to who I was and saying what I could do. And I will tell you, nothing felt better than being able to call those sellers and tell them that I did what I said I was going to do. And, we became really friendly and they were so much fun. And the people who purchased the home were so much fun. And then guess what I did? Because I believe in evidence of success, I knew the number one way to enter the luxury market. And the seller and I even talked about how cool it was and what a great opportunity it was for me to have this listing, because then I could use it as a platform to get to new luxury properties. Evidence of success. So I took the property. What this says here is pending in 4 days. And we came up with this really cute slogan. It says, we don't just list estates, we sell estates. Bam, right? And it was just, you guys, we put that out on social media. And then what was so cool is from that one, we got an interview for a property that we got signed that I can't say the exact price point, but it's over $3 million. Then we got another one that was like 1.2, 975. And it just took one. It just took one listing presentation, one price point. And you know what though? This is the thing. Those people, those amazing, sweet people who I got to help sell their house, net them top dollar in the market. Remember, you guys, I had the least experience of anybody. I had never sold that high of a price point. I'd never sold in that area. And yet I believed in who I was. And I knew my presentation inside and out. And those objection handlers that you and I are always practicing, trust me, I had those things down pat. I knew what they were going to say. I knew how to overcome the objections. But the number one part about it is I genuinely cared about them and their well-being. Can you help me? Do I trust you? And do you care about me? And the answer to all those three things were yes. Now, the hardest part about all of it is that I doubted myself. I doubted myself. I wasn't sure if I deserved luxury. I wasn't sure if I could do it. And that one time told me that yes, I could do it. Yes, I did deserve it. And so do you. So, I just wanted to share with you guys, that is how I got in. And honestly, the biggest piece to this is believing in yourself. Knowing that you too can do luxury. You don't have to wait 6.5 years. The timing just happened to be that for me, but I don't regret it because I have this amazing team of 15 people in Northern California that I get to love on and help them achieve their dreams and help them get into higher price points and live the life that they want to lead. So I wanted to share with you guys, and if you have any questions, any follow-up questions, you can put them in the comment section. And also, if you're interested in receiving some of the documents that I talked about, send me a private message with your email address. So don't do it in the comment section here. Send me a private message on Facebook with your email address. And then what I will send you guys is a copy of the social media flyer so you can see the emojis. I will send you guys our Candyland so that you guys can see what that looks like. And then I also will send you a copy of the listings and purchases so you can see how we do our just sold and our listing and purchases, the just sold sheet that we do in presentations. So if you guys are interested in those documents, I would be more than happy to share. And just remember that you're all going through different things in your world that other agents and other people might feel value from. So don't be afraid to share. Don't be afraid to pop on and add value to other people, because I feel like this is the good stuff. This is where we build connections. And if you're worried that someone's going to steal your business or let that go. Take a deep breath, release it. Because everybody here deserves to be here. There's plenty of real estate professionals in the industry. And remember, people work with people they like, and they like you. So be true to who you are. And thank you so much for spending time with me and hanging out and learning a little bit about my luxury market entrance. I was gonna title it how I broke into the luxury market, and I was like, broke into luxury sounds bad, so I didn't say that. And now I just said it on social media. I mean, I am who I am, right? Transparency. Have a good day, you guys. All right, my friends, I hope you found so much value today in how I broke into the luxury market. You know, it really does come down to mindset, your commitment, knowing your scripts, knowing your craft, and owning that you are good enough and that you can do this. I hope you found value. As always, I'm here for you. I would love to be able to always pour value into you, your business, your life. And know that if there's ever a video or something specific that you want me to touch on, you can leave me a message. You can even comment below in this video right here. Have a great day, and I'm so excited to connect with you on social media. You know where you can find me: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I'm all the places, and I love getting to be a part of your life and your business.